Yeah, don't mind my Dash stuff. We're gonna make another Dash Chronicles. So yeah, you see my work. That's my work in the background. So I wanted to give a special shout out to my homie Simba Ali, man. After seeing that video, I gotta tune into more of that stuff. But when you see homies from your neighborhood, man, just doing things, it just inspires me even more. I gotta come up with a new product after seeing that. Bro done went and got him a damn Benz Sprinter.
You can't fuck with me, man. Yeah, exclusive. Only 8 of these, and I got one. That means
he done went and got a Benz Sprinter, man. That is a fabulous thing for his Big Talk platform. And
what's gonna be happening with Simba Ali, aka No J Simpson? We coming to you.
I'm so fucking happy to see it, man. And it's just like he says about me, it's just been an amazing view to watch his platform and what he's been doing over with his podcast and stuff over a number of years. It's really fantastic. So shout out to Big Talk. Y'all go follow him. I always like to, I've always been listening to his podcast and everything. And we one of these days we gonna do a Simba Ali story. We gonna do one, because that one goes back to the early West Bank, early Street Kings days and stuff. So I'm gonna see it. You got to think I had a front row seat to see everything happen. So, but anyway, this let me move this stuff. It looks janky. There we go. Looks better. There we go. This story or analysis is about T1000. I was sending some pictures to Stack Doe the other day, and I said, man, do you remember T1000, bro? Like, and he was like, man, T1000 was like the 51 Melly.
It's good to go.
What's your name?
Williams.
Where you stay at?
6425 South Ellis.
What are you doing in this car, man?
On 051 Melly being a demon and cracking his sister.
There's always on the list. They always put 051 Melly on there. I don't know if you know him.
He definitely a demon. People scared of dude.
Where you know him from?
T1000 was like the King Von of law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when Judgment Day 2 came out, I didn't see the first Judgment Day or the first Terminator. That came out in like 89, 82, 80 something. Judgment Day came out, I believe, 91, 92. So when it first came out, I think we saw it on tape again. This is another one of our tapes, because we used to watch a lot of tapes. The early 90s, you watched a lot of VHS tapes. You watched tapes all the way until DVDs was very prevalent. So I'm sitting up here watching Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and it was funny because me and my brothers we watch it together, and we laugh because there's all these, and we had to keep rewinding parts. And that's the nice thing about the tape, you rewind it, and we rewind the same scenes and be cracking up, just eating snacks, watching this stuff, man. We'd have our Snickers and our pretzels or whatever, and it's just the funniest thing because the stuff that they would do and the facial expressions that T1000 made. Now, for anybody that don't know, I'm talking about Terminator 2 Judgment Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This was his heyday. This was, I believe, after Total Recall, but this Terminator was pretty much the branding of Arnold. Arnold was never a great actor. He didn't say a lot. He didn't say nothing where you're like, oh, that was a Denzel Washington thing. But he was your quintessential action-packed, that's who you're gonna watch.
Get to the chopper!
So now, he eventually did a movie with Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams was a movie called Eraser. And Vanessa Vanessa have always been one of the baddest looking chicks in the industry. Vanessa was splendidly beautiful.
God bless America. You wanna free us, pay them teachers like they senators.
You know what I'm saying? And so she was in the movie Eraser. But anyway, let's get back to the Terminator. So me and Stack were having this convo about how, like, being at the edge of your seat watching Terminator, it was from front to back. There wasn't a lot of areas where you had to just kind of sit. Now, when they were getting chased by T1000, there'd be times where they might reflect on the story or whatever. That's another great screenplay. Wonderful, wonderful screenplay. T1000 was basically the arch nemesis. He was sent from the future, if I got it right, to annihilate John Connor. Now, if you watch the newer Terminators with, I believe, Christian Bale, I think Christian Bale's in the newer Terminators. Was that Christian Bale? And it was another guy. John Connor grows up to be older. So you got to kind of follow. You might want to watch all the Terminators, even the ones you don't really like or whatever, but watch all the Terminators so you can kind of understand what Cyberdyne has to do in terms of these chips.
I need to know how Skynet gets built.
So, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Arnold, he's coming back as the good guy. The bad guy's T1000. The T1000, the thing about it's hard to beat T1000 because T1000 is made of liquid metal. When we saw that as kids, him being able to just go through walls and go through jail cells and all kind of stuff like that, when he got to the jail so he could unalive Sarah Connor, man, that was a trip. Another thing about Terminator 2 Judgment Day that we really liked was the dirt bike. Come on! You're seeing a lot of kids with dirt bikes right now, walking around. It kind of reminds me, I think of Terminator 2 Judgment Day when I see all those kids just kind of moving around. But T1000, he can mimic voices. He can run really fast. He can shape his body into weapons. He's technologically advanced far more than the standard Terminator prototype.
Performance in Terminator 2 that when I see you casually walk out from behind a curtain like this, it's not, what I'm expecting is this.
So one of the scenes that really made us crack up is when they were wrestling inside the mall. The way that he threw Terminator through a wall, it would just be the funniest thing. They buckled up, and then what they did is he took one arm and he put the other arm on the other, and then he locked in and he kind of threw Terminator through the wall. That was one of the funniest scenes in the movie to us because the gestures that they were making and all of that, it was just funny. So, one of the scenes that was really terrifying to me, and I watched it with my parents, is when the nuclear war occurred. And they were telling us, like, people actually have weapons of mass destruction. That's how I started kind of learning and researching about plutonium and uranium. And, you know, at one point, when I got into high school, I knew the whole entire periodic table of elements by heart. And it used to kind of, kids in school used to kind of wonder, like, man, how do you know this? You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, just reading and studying. You just keep reading and reading and reading. So I knew the periodic table of elements by heart, by its symbols. Like, you know, plutonium, uranium, iron, I kind of had that memorized at one point, almost to a certain degree. That's why they started sending me to gifted school. Some of the teachers, that is. But T1000, man, was the top op. There's really nothing you could actually do to him to harm him. You know, you can't do anything to harm T1000. That's why it was so hard for them to defeat him in the end. And for those that have, everybody's pretty much have seen, you have seen Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But anybody that has not seen it, you got to see it. It's old school. It came from 91, 92. But you will not regret. But one of the things that me and Stack was talking about is how it kept you on the edge of your seat every step of the way, where you're kind of wondering what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next? They're chasing, they're shooting at each other, they're constantly running. They're trying to upgrade weapons and things of that nature. So, like I say, that's a childhood classic. I'm going to try to find some clips. Hopefully the copyright won't